Trauma does not have to define you this holiday season. Here on the Felicia Inspired Show, we encourage you to tell your story and open up for the holidays so that you can bring a warm welcome to someone in their home by sharing your journey and your experience. Pain does not mean that you have to be alone this year. At this warm Christmas holiday, we're here on the Felicia Inspired Show giving you something warm, laughter, cheer, and love.
Hi, my name is Felicia Johnson, and I'm here today to receive a makeover by Felicia Inspired.
I am so excited to have you here and to be able to provide this makeover for you. I'm so ready to see the finishing look. How you feeling?
I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Just very nervous,
No
but
need to be.
I trust you so much.
Aww.
So, I am ready.
I know. I'm ready too. Oh my gosh. This is gorgeous. I know you've never worn short hair before and you've never done makeup. I'm excited for you to see it. Whenever you're ready, take your time. Here you go. I can't wait for you to see it.
Oh, girl.
You look so pretty.
Oh my God. I feel on the outside what I feel on the inside.
Oh.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Oh my God. Jesus. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow.
We are back again with another episode on the Felicia Inspired Show. Today we have Miss Felicia Johnson, and she's here today to share her incredible story that's going to help deliver, heal, and inspire someone. And we want to thank you for being such a valuable individual. We want to dive deep into your story and give us your perspective of how Felicia is doing.
As of today, Felicia's doing awesome. Fully blessed and highly favored.
And receiving your makeover today, share with us how you are feeling.
I am feeling fantastic. The way that I actually feel in the inside now, it's showing on the outside. So I am truly happy.
Oh, so how are you feeling before your makeover?
I was happy in the inside, but it just wasn't expressing on the outside. So people that did approach me didn't know exactly what I was bringing to the table because I was looking so dull.
Oh, and you mind sharing with us what was the root of the way you were feeling prior to coming on the show?
Well, prior to coming on the show, I was battling some depression due to death in the family, and it actually put me in a dark space. That dark space took me to a place to where, thank God, I did not do any drugs or alcohol or anything like that, but it was a dark place to where I did not want to socialize with anyone. And the death of my grandfather was the start of it. And when he actually passed, I sort of ran, doing family gatherings, especially like Thanksgiving and things of that nature. I took my kids, instead of going to the family event, we went to Florida or, some other place to where I did not have to see that empty chair. But thank God through prayer and family members' prayer, hey, I overcame.
So growing up, he was very involved, I can see.
Yes.
So could you share with us how it was growing up with your grandfather?
He was actually the rock of the family. Very the disciplinary type person.
Most definitely, I can see that.
Especially like on Sundays before we actually went to church. He had us to go outside to clean up around the house.
My goodness.
Pick up trash and things of that nature. But it was a learning experience because it taught us discipline. It taught us not to live in filth. It taught us to clean up the neighborhood and to take pride in your residence. So basically that's what that was. And then we had family breakfast and then went directly to church.
And do you still have your grandmother, or how was that?
Yes, grandmother is still here. Actually, today is her birthday.
Oh.
And when I leave here, I'm going directly to Athens to see her and share in that experience. And also to share with other family members. So, but our grandmother, well, my grandmother, she is actually the next rock of the family. So we're trying to appreciate and take care of her just like we did with my grandfather.
And how are you coping with the loss of your grandfather?
Now I can actually smile. Prior to before I actually sought counseling through the church, I would just actually cry a lot. Went to the cemetery, I know, every day for like 6 months. Didn't tell my family because when you tell your family about depression, they look at you in a different light. You know, or you have some people say, well, hey, people in the Black community, we don't seek help, or we don't have depression, deal with it and move on. Thank God through the church, I know that everyone grieves different, and everyone don't have to use medication. And we just need the outlet to actually let people know that it's okay to talk about how you're feeling.
Would you say you're in a place of acceptance?
Oh, for sure. For sure. My uncle, who actually passed some years after my grandfather, he actually took me up under his wing as well. And to always pray and to make sure that, you know, you want to stay mindful and have a clear mind. So, you know, don't have other people putting negative thoughts in your mind to make you go a little deeper. So as of right now, any type of death that actually come about, I know how to take it and look at it as for what it is, which means that God gave us time with them and he actually took them back. And if I continue to live right, I will actually see them again.
Now, when you say a dark place, could you kind of put it in perspective of what do you call a dark place, and how were you in those moments?
Just a clear note to where if someone would call me, I would look at the phone call, not even put it on mute, just walk out the room and just let the phone ring, and would call them back a couple of weeks at a time. Say, oh, hey, I missed your call, you know, you know, is there anything going on, blah, blah, blah. And they was like, okay, well, I called you back to back, you know, but in my mind, I saw that, but I just didn't want to communicate at that time. Because at the point where someone always asks how you doing, it always takes me back to where I actually felt the baddest. But
so
now,
you were kind of running from it and trying to. At what point did you come to confront how you were feeling? You said, "Okay, you know what? I can't stay here."
Every time there was a family event, I would actually run, and it got to the point to where certain individuals in my family who I'm very close to would always question, hey, why aren't you spending time with family anymore? You know, what's going on? And I didn't know I was running that much, you know, so it came to the point to where like I said, every holiday, every family event, I would disappear. Me and my girls. My girls didn't know I was going through depression because I had that mask on. What they saw was a free trip. Free vacation to Florida, to any state that they wanted to go to. I gave it their choice. But I was just feeling I was drained just for crying.
When did you recognize the signs of being depressed?
When I went to church, and one of the mothers of the church just actually told me, she said, hey, there's something I need to tell you. I don't know how you're going to take it, but she said, the Holy Spirit told me that I need to talk to you because you're going through severe depression. I want to take you to somebody that brought me out. And if you don't want to talk to them, that's fine. But I just want you to know that I recognize what you're going through and you can come out of it. So then I was introduced to some people at the church who actually opened me with welcome arms. And it actually, that first talk I just got an instant lift because they knew what I was going through. And to me, when that first impact of that death hit,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
it just like I knew the purpose of it, but it just like why was he being taken away from me? And I didn't want to be selfish. And just losing someone that you're close with it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we're gonna miss them, but a person that you're close to is a whole nother feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so fast forward, my brother passed, and thank God that I talked to my uncle, who actually gave me a vision of his before he actually passed.
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks before he passed, he told me that once he transitioned over, that I'm going to go through another situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
And he cannot tell me who it was, but he just said that death is going to impact you. But just know that it's going to be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Keep up the good faith,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be all right. And so when my brother passed, I knew. When my uncle passed, I knew. When my grandfather passed, I knew. And what I'm saying I knew is because I have vision as well.
Mm-hmm.
And before they actually transitioned over, I would see them and they would speak to me in comfort. But when my grandfather passed, I did not know how to take it. But fast forward, when my brother passed, it hurt. And it hurt like heck. But I knew how to handle it. And the last vision that I had was my uncle and my brother was in my living room just laughing and keeping up noise. And I woke up out of my sleep and I went in there. I was like, turn the TV down. They didn't hear me, but I saw them over there just having a good old time. So that put my mind and at ease to know that they're okay. Mm-hmm. And what my uncle said was true. Just continue to pray and you can move from it.
Most definitely. How was your grandmother? How did your relationship with your grandmother strengthen after the passing of your grandfather?
Oh, I would do anything for her. She is my queen. She is funny, sweet, kind, and protective. And so I just want to give her the same. She's the most lovable person, and words just can't express.
And when you go there, how's the feeling? Even on your way there, what goes through your mind, your emotions, knowing that when you get there, he's not there?
Now I'm at ease because when I walk in there, I know what chair he used to sit in. I can smile because I can remember some of the things that he actually talked to us about when we were growing up. And I can remember some of the things that he would say about church, mm-hmm. if you can lay in the bed and get up and go to work, you can get up and go to church.
Right.
You know,
Definitely.
so some of those things when you're growing up, you don't want to hear it because you just came in from the club. But basically, what he said was true. So a lot of old sayings that a lot of old people give you, you just have to take those in stride. But they tell you exactly what you need to hear, what you need to know.
They do. And in those last moments, and we all have things that if we could see the future and know when the day, the time, the hour, the minute, the second, what do you think you would want to say to him that you did not have a chance to say?
Nothing really, because actually with my grandfather, we had a good relationship. When he started to get real sick, I can recall a moment to where my grandmother and my aunt, one of the twins, they had went to the store, and my grandfather did not supposed to have anything with sugar in it or what have you. Prior to that, every Friday when I got off, I would go by Chick-fil-A and get my grandmother, my aunt, and my grandfather some of that ice cream. He loved that ice cream. And so when my aunt and grandmother went to the store, he was like, hey, I said, yes. Can you go to Chick-fil-A and get me some of that good old ice cream? So in that moment, I knew that, hey, he knew he didn't supposed to have it, but I knew that I wanted to give him what he requested, because he always said that, hey, if I'm going to die, I want to die happy. Oh. So I went to go get the ice cream and came back, and I was like, oh my God. I said, Pop, I said, I'm going to get in trouble because you don't supposed to have it. He said, no, as long as we eat it before they get back, she won't know. Fast forward, they pulled in the driveway. I said, oh my God. I said, they're here. I said, and I still got ice cream. He said, why you over there talking? I already ate mine. Go put this in the trash can. He said, put it all the way down at the bottom. And so they won't see it. So that's what I did. And then I came back in. My grandmother came in. She was like, hey, everything's okay. And I started smiling. I looked at him. He said, don't you say nothing. I was like, He said, yeah, everything's okay. He said, don't you tell her about you give me this ice cream. But years after he had passed, I did reveal that to her. She said she knew something was going on because he had gas. So, wow. But just seeing his old chair, and he have pictures in there, his plaque and things of that nature, it actually brings me peace because I can remember the good times now without crying.
That's good, and that is definitely a sign of healing, acceptance, because it's hard to come to terms that they're not here anymore. Do you find yourself having moments where it's like, I just can't believe he's gone?
It's just, I don't want to say hard, because hard is not a word anymore, because like I said, I accept his passing, my uncle passing and my brother's passing, but it's a part of nature. We think that, oh, you have some people living 100 years old or what have you, and you thinking that, okay, well, this person died in the 80s, this person died in the 60s, and this person died in the 40s. Why are you taking them so early? Basically, I know that the transition is a blessing. Me personally, I always speak to my daughters now, about death, to let them know, hey, you don't need to go into a deep place, because death is a part of life, and if anything happens to me, seek help. Help is there for you. It's not where you just actually close that hurt in and keep it there for a long period of time, because if so, that is hurtful to your spirit and your heart. The question is, it's not why it didn't happen, it's thank God that it did happen, because you don't want them to suffer.
And how old was he when he passed away?
Grandfather was in his late 80s. Okay. My uncle was in his 60s, and my brother, he was in his 40s.
And how far apart was their deaths?
been 11 years between my uncle and my grandfather and my brother 2 years ago.
Okay.
You know how people take videos and things of that nature? I'm still having a little issue with that because just seeing them move in motion, knowing that I cannot touch them,
Yes.
that's the issue with me. But other than that, the depression is gone.
It is definitely real. And what would you tell, or what kind of advice could you give someone who are battling depression that don't know? Because a lot of people don't know that they're in a depression. What kind of advice could you give them to say, hey, you know what, these are the signs, it's time for you to seek help?
Being distant a lot, eating a lot, just stress, because my hair was shedding. But those things that are out of the norm, I would say you would need to question and then seek help, to where even if it's someone in the church, an elderly person in the family who have some wisdom and good sense.
Yes, no, that's the key. Wisdom and sense.
And professional help. You know, there's people out there because the African American community, like I said, they try to sweep depression and mental health up under the rug, and it's real.
It is definitely
real. It's real.
It's definitely real. Going through like grief counseling and things of that sort. How was that experience? Because some people, they're scared to death to go through this thing because they don't want to face the reality. How could it kind of ease their peace of mind?
And see, the grief counselors, they've been through the same situation. So you're not talking to someone that's fresh off the street with a degree that's gonna tell you, okay, do A, B, C, and D, and they've never been in that experience. That grief counselor knows exactly what you're going through because they've been through the same situation, and they don't just recommend one thing. They recommend certain, different avenues that you can take that can actually help you out of that grief counseling session because and it is just like a 12-step program.
Okay.
It's not a one time in, one time out situation, and they just don't drop you at the drop of a dime, thinking that you're okay. To this day, they still reach out, hey, Sister Johnson, you okay? You looking good? We seen you back there shouting in the corner, so, I mean, they just keep up with you, and it makes you feel good if someone actually will continue to look out for you. But once again, just seek help because it is there.
Most definitely, and we appreciate that word of wisdom, that word of advice, that word of comfort, because someone definitely can use that, because this goes on every day, right? And depression is real.
It's very real.
It's real, and it goes unrecognized by so many, not just the young, the old, middle-aged. It doesn't matter. It can strike at any given time. And I do thank you so much for opening that door, being a shoulder, being an ear to someone who don't even know. And we are definitely here for you. We welcome you with open arms. Call us. We're always going to be here, and continue to stay strong. Continue to have courage, stay resilient, and just live your truth.
Thank you for letting me share my story.
Most definitely, your stories change lives, and every story is unique in its own special way.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We definitely will follow Miss Felicia on her journey, and we will update you guys on how she's progressing in life.